Attention Browns fans, a young, talented first-round player is on the brink. The team seems ready to move him without looking back, even without a suitable replacement. And behind the scenes, there's already a direct and public message coming from the locker room. The atmosphere is tense, promises are broken, and a decision that could cost dearly for the future of Cleveland's secondary is looming. Welcome! Show your support for the Browns by reaching 100 likes on today's video. Greg Newsome II could be leaving Cleveland, and the destination might be an NFC contender, the Minnesota Vikings. The cornerback, who arrived with high expectations in the first round of the 2021 draft, had a disappointing season in 2024 and is already emerging as a key name in trade rumors this summer. The proposal, raised by Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports, involves a potential package between the Browns and Vikings, who are looking to strengthen a depleted secondary following the departure of veterans like Stephon Gilmore and Cameron Bynum. From a technical standpoint, the idea makes some sense. Newsome played 13 games last year, but started only 3 of them. His performance was, at best, below expectations. 27 tackles, 1 interception, and an overall grade of 52.2 on Pro Football Focus, the worst of his career. That alone would generate pressure, but the aggravating factor is the context. He is entering the final year of his contract and knows that at this rate, he won't have a future in Cleveland, either technically or financially. The move would make sense for the Vikings, who bolstered their offensive and defensive lines in the offseason, but struggled to fill the void in the secondary with impactful talent. Newsome, even in a rough patch, is still young, 25 years old, versatile, and has shown flashes of high-level play in his first 2 years in the league. He would fit as a chess piece in Brian Flores' defensive system, able to play inside or outside, which is highly valued in Minnesota. But why would the Browns give up a player like that, still with potential, especially when they lack depth in the position? That is the question that exposes the internal problem. Cleveland did not select any cornerbacks in the 2025 draft and is at risk of losing 2 starters in 2026, Newsome and Martin Emerson Jr., both of whom have contracts expiring next year. And with Denzel Ward struggling with recurring injuries, this is not a unit that can afford to take risks. Andrew Berry, the Browns' general manager, has always been known for calculated decisions and long-term planning. But keeping Newsome without involving him in the defensive system productively is wasting draft capital and cap space. And if the idea is to trade him, the time is now, before his market value diminishes further. The question is whether the return justifies the technical loss and the hole he would leave behind. For now, the proposal with Minnesota is still speculative. Sure, but it carries more than just a possible adjustment between teams. It exposes the current disorganization of the Browns at the cornerback position and shows that the team may be about to lose a young talent without a real plan to replace him. As if that weren't enough, the situation heated up even more in recent days, with the player himself making it clear that patience has run out. If the trade already seemed likely behind the scenes, Newsome's message to the team may have been the final nail in the relationship. And he did not mince words. Greg Newsome is frustrated, and he made it public. Even with months until the start of the season, the Browns cornerback sent a direct message to the front office. Either his role on the field changes drastically in 2025, or he has no interest in staying with the franchise long-term. The revelation came through reporter Mary Kay Cabot, who spoke with Newsome at the Super Bowl, and what he said was clear. "I need to know some things before signing any long-term contract here." The statement lays bare the chasm between the player and the current coaching staff's plan. In 2024, Newsome was primarily used as a nickelback, playing inside in specific packages, far from the outside starting role he was seeking. The result? Fewer snaps, less production, more frustration. He participated in only 70% of defensive plays, the lowest number since entering the league. The drop in participation and performance raised all the alarms. The player, who arrived as one of the franchise's big defensive bets, now sees himself as a luxury backup and knows that this directly affects his career and financial future. He wants a bigger role, visibility, and above all, prominence. And if it's not in Cleveland, he is already signaling that he is willing to seek that elsewhere. This kind of statement doesn't come lightly, it's calculated. It's a direct message to Andrew Berry and head coach Kevin Stefanski. If they want to count on him in 2025 and try to convince him to renew, they will have to offer much more than words. They will need to give him playing time, confidence, and eventually, money. And the Browns' recent history with complex negotiations does not inspire much optimism. Newsome's situation is even more delicate for another reason. He is not the only CB with a contract ending. Martin Emerson Jr. will also become a free agent in 2026, and his 2024 season was, at the very least, inconsistent. This puts the Browns at a crossroads. Keep two dissatisfied and underperforming players, risk losing them without returning, or make trades, even with an already weakened secondary. Moreover, the locker room feels it. When a player publicly demands his role, it's a sign that internal communication has failed. This creates noise in practices, in-season preparation, and especially in group management. For a defense that shone in 2023 but saw a sharp decline the following year, this kind of instability could cost games, and even playoff spots. The reality is that the Browns have let the situation go too far. Newsome's dissatisfaction has been discussed off the record since the middle of last season, when his name was speculated in trade talks. Even so, the front office kept the player, and now needs to decide real reintegration or market movement. Time, as always, is running out. Greg Newsome's situation is a classic example of how poor talent management and failed communication can erode an entire unit. The Browns have in their hands a versatile young defender with a promising history, but they have not known how to utilize him, neither as a starter nor as a trade asset. Now, they face a scenario where they could lose him for nothing, and on top of that, without ready substitutes on the roster. Andrew Berry needs to act, and fast. Either he values Newsome with snaps, prominence, and a real plan for 2025, or he admits he was wrong and seeks the best possible return in a trade. The worst path is inaction. And you, Browns fan, do you believe Greg Newsome can still perform at a high level in Cleveland? Or is it time to turn the page and use him as a trade piece while there's still market value? Leave your opinion in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to the channel to follow each chapter of this saga in the Browns secondary closely. Until next time.